How long have we been together? We've been together 7 years. 7 years going strong. We met in 2004 when we were in La Crosse. And yeah, I was looking it up online the other day. It's going to be 2,788 days from the time we started dating until our wedding. And that's a lot of days.
We met actually because our friends Zach and Rachel were dating, and they both lived in La Crosse, and I lived near Rachel, and so we went and visited Zach, who lived next door to Matt, and so we went to go play a game of volleyball, and we gathered a bunch of people, and Matt was one of those people. It was one of the first days of school, and we were waiting out in the hall for everybody else, and the first thing I said to him was, "Oh, what's your name?" And he said, "My name is Matthew." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'm Emily." At that time I was kind of obsessed with names, and so I asked him, I said, "Well, what's your middle name? Because I love middle names." And he says, "Well, it's Robert." And I said, "Oh, Robert, I hate that name." And
I said, "Okay." I said, "What's your middle name?" She says, "Ann." And I said, "Well, I hate that middle name." So right then and there, I think I knew I had found my match. Funny little story. I asked Zach right away if Emily was single. He said, "Yeah, I think so." And I said, "Not for long." So she doesn't believe me, but it happened. You can ask Zach. Zach will vouch for it.
he will tell you that it was love at first sight. But I'm not so certain. Our first date, it went kind of rough. We went out to eat. I think he had the tour of Italy, actually, and I think I may have had ravioli.
I got the tour of Italy for dinner. I still remember. Couldn't tell you what we wore, but I got the tour of Italy, and I know Emily got the cheese ravioli. So that was our first date, Olive Garden.
And then afterwards we watched Count of Monte Cristo, and he fell asleep. He fell asleep on our first date while we were watching the movie, and I kept inching my hand closer and closer to him to see if he would grab it so he would hold my hand, but he didn't. And so I was kind of disappointed. So the next day, I think I told him, he had kind of followed up on the date, and I told him that I just kind of liked him as friends because I didn't think he really liked me, and I didn't really feel really certain about it. And then a few weeks later, our friends, we were going to a Halloween party, and we had to search for Halloween costumes. So I went with Matthew to look for Halloween costumes, and he really impressed me. He was, a gentleman, and he opened doors, and he was really funny, and I really started to just become friends with him, which was it was nice to become friends with him first rather than just start dating right away. And then we started dating because of it, because I thought he was pretty funny. I really don't remember. I mean, I remember a time that we kissed. I want to say that we went out in the rain and went for a walk, and we thought it would kind of just be romantic, this walk in the rain, but I'm not sure it really was. It was kind of dreary and wet, and then I think out of nowhere we just stopped, and we just leaned in, and then we kissed.
Well, Jeff's gonna kill me on this one, but we actually had our first kiss last night. We figured, we were both married, or we were getting married, so we were so close, so why not just have a little peck? So we decided why not,
Oh, this is a funny story. The first time we said "I love you," it was April, I want to say, and we went camping in Wisconsin. And if you know anything about camping or Wisconsin, you know that you don't camp in April because it's just way too cold. There's a chance of snow or frost or something. It's just usually very, very cold. So we went camping with a bunch of other people from La Crosse, and when we were there, we had a really good time. The campfire was nice, but it was very, very cold. So we had settled into the tent and tried to stay warm, but it was kind of last minute, so we didn't have a lot of materials. We didn't have sleeping bags, we just had some blankets and some pillows, and we had settled in and we were laying there and we were just so cold, just bitterly freezing. And so we snuck into someone's car and slept in the car instead because we were off of the ground, and it was just really, really cold that night, and I was miserable and all I wanted to do was go home. So Matthew, he held me the whole night and he tried to keep me warm, and he would rub my shoulders and try and warm me up, or he would give me the blanket and just anything to keep me from being cold. And it was at that time that I knew that I really loved him, because he would really do anything for me. So he was, you know, we were fading in and out of sleep, and it was early into the morning before we even tried to get any sleep. And I told him, I said, Matthew, I said, I love you. And I said it kind of quiet, but I thought he should hear me at least, but he didn't respond.
She whispers, I love you. And, I didn't say anything.
I said I love you, and he sat there, and then a little bit later I'm like, Matthew, did you hear me? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I love you too. So he didn't respond, so I was really worried. So I was the first one to say I love you, but I'm pretty sure he probably wasn't ready to say it then. When we left for New York, there was no chance in my mind that we were going to get engaged. But he had other plans. We had spent some time with my friend Katrina in New York. She had an apartment there, and we had toured the city, and then it was time to, you know, have some alone time and go out to dinner with just Matthew. And he had scheduled to do a carriage ride, because I thought they were kind of a little bit romantic and traditional and everything, but he thought it was something that we should do, an experience in New York that every person should really get to experience, is a carriage ride in Central Park. So we hopped on this carriage ride, and it was really quite dark out, and there were still people in the park. There were runners, and I thought, oh, that's kind of dangerous, all these runners. And then we started to hear music, and it was this jazz player, this saxophone player, and he was playing music, and Matthew says, do you hear that? What is that? And I said, that's a jazz player. I said, what is he doing out here? He's not going to make any money off of people running by, and it's so dark out, it's dangerous. And he says, oh, he's like, what song are they playing? And I said, I don't know, I don't think I know that song. And then as we got closer, he says, oh, I think I know this song. And sure enough, it was our song. And I said, oh my gosh, Matthew, that's fate. It's fate that we were riding on this carriage, and this guy is playing our song. And he says, I'm gonna ask the driver if we can stop and get out and dance. And that it meant a lot to me, because every Sunday for the past few years, Matthew and I have picked out a romantic song and we've danced together. It's a way for us to unwind. It's a way for us to unwind from the weekend, from the week, and really connect with each other. So we had, you know, every Sunday for forever, we had slow dance together, and so he was stopping to have us dance together. And I asked him, I said, can you do that? Can we stop the carriage? And sure enough, he gets out of the carriage and we go and we dance, and there, you know, the guy's still playing our song, and then he gets down on one knee and says, Emily, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and he pulls out a ring. And so I knew, obviously, at that point that it wasn't necessarily fate who had played our song. It was actually Matthew who had coordinated it and put it together and hired a saxophone player and scheduled the carriage ride and everything in between. So he did a really great job.
And, you know, when we were playing we were playing volleyball, so I'm sure she saw that how I was an elite athlete. So I mean, how could you not be attracted to an athlete, somebody that has good looks and has some style? So pretty sure that's what won her over.
Definitely his eyes. They are just the bluest, biggest, beautiful eyes, and he has these long, girly lashes that that just melted me. He is going to say that he wants as many as I will have, but I think we may have settled on 2.
Well, I'm guessing she probably said 2 because I think that's how many she won. So I have a plan. Because twins run in her family, I hope we have 1, and then when we go to have the second, boom, slide twins in. So we have 3 then. I want as many as she could have. So, but I think if I can try and slip the twins in there somewhere along the lines, then we'll be good. I know she has. I know she used to get really jealous when we were in college before we'd start dating. There was a girl who lived in my dorm. She was on the gymnastics team, and it was almost like every night the girl would come over and she'd hang out with us and stuff, but she would give me a massage, and because she was on the gymnastics team, she had really strong hands and stuff, and I'm very ticklish, so it worked out, like she was the only person that's ever been able to give me a massage that I truly enjoyed. So I knew that used to get Emily mad, and I think it still does to this day.
So she would give him back massages, and I was like, dude, we are dating. What are you doing? And I used to get so jealous, and finally I was like, no, I don't even want to talk to this girl anymore.
She's kind of a quirky person to begin with. Her dancing is appalling. You need to cover your eyes and cover your kids' eyes when you see her dancing, because you do not want them turning out to dance like her. I would say weirdest though, I don't know, maybe she color coats her closet, which I just think is brilliant. I think that's very intelligent. I could never do that. I'm not smart enough to do something like that. But maybe that's her weirdest habit.
Oh, Matthew has the weirdest habit I've ever seen. When he gets home after work, he takes his pants off. Never fails. Doesn't matter what is going on. It doesn't matter where he has to go next. It is drop his pants off right there and then. And of course he has something on underneath, but he just has to have his pants off. And it is so weird. And then I will ask him, I'll say, Matthew, can you take out Wrigley? And he'd be like, but I have my pants off. And that's his excuse every time, is that he never has his pants on. So definitely a weird habit of his. This radio show called Boris and Bernstein. I swear to God, Boris and Bernstein, if you are listening, please just be off the air for like a week or something. Just take a break, because honestly, you're a part of our lives. I feel like I know Boris and Bernstein better than I know my own family. They talk about everything, and he has to listen to it for hours of listening to it. He'll listen to it sometimes at work, he'll listen to it sometimes on the way home from work, when he gets home from work, on the weekends, whenever he can. And then he calls up his friends and tells them about Boris and Bernstein and all of the funny things they just said. And all of his friends are obsessed too, or at least some of them are, and they talk about it too. So it's Boris and Bernstein constantly. It is obsession. He quotes them, he plays their songs, he sings some of their songs, even though they're made-up songs. It is completely an obsession.
She is obsessed with Wrigley. She loves her death. She did not want animals. She never had animals growing up. Maybe a fish here and there. I know we had Big Shot Bob when we were in college. That was a fish. But she didn't have animals growing up, and it took me a long time to talk her into a dog. So I finally talked her into getting a dog, and I actually went out and picked her out and stuff, and came home, and you know, it took her a little while to get used to her, but she is head over heels for that dog right now. I actually think I think she loves the dog more than she loves me, but you know, that, you know.
He probably has a few, but the one that I think is kind of funny, and I'm gonna share it anyway, even though he probably will get mad at me, is he likes Extreme Home Makeover. And we don't watch it a lot, but when he does, he'll get teary-eyed, and it really brings a lot of emotion out in him, and I kind of, you know, give him a hard time about it, but it is a really sad show, and I can understand why he might get emotional, but still, that is definitely a secret show of his.
She's big into the reality TV, Survivor, Amazing Race. She watches all that, you know, Real Housewives of Miami-Dade County or whatever, Real Housewives of Green Bay. Actually, that'd probably be pretty entertaining. I'd probably watch that one with her, yeah. Yeah, I do say, I have a lot of catchphrases that I say. When we were in college, the movie Borat was out with Sacha Baron Cohen, and, you know, so me and my friends would always say, you know, Yaksamash, my name is Borat, or, I like, it's nice.
Yaksamash, my name is Borat.
Pretty much every day I listen to Chicago sports radio station, and so unfortunately Emily thinks I'm obsessed, probably, because I quote them a lot.
There's this show on Boris and Bernstein that he watches, and it's called Who You Crappin', or Who's You Crappin'? Something like that, and he says that all the time. He'll be like, Emily, who you crappin'?
The one that she absolutely detests is pie cracky. And, you know, we'll be in the store walking around, and she'll say something, or I'll hear somebody say something, and I'll say, pie cracky. You know, so she really hates that one.
Oh, his favorite word that I absolutely cannot stand is pie cracky. But he says it like, pie cracky, or pie cracky. And it drives me absolutely insane because of the way he says it.
Yeah, when I watch sports, I you know, watch a football game, a guy will be running in for a long touchdown, and I'll say, you know, he's got getting away from the cop speed.
He's got getting away from the cop speed.
Or, you know, I'm a man, I'm 40. Or, you know, there's a whole list of them that I go through. Stop it, Dragic. Did you not get the memo? I want to go higher.
Oh, whenever he walks into a room, he goes, hello, friends, Jim Nance here. I have no idea. I don't have a clue why he says that one.
Yeah, I'll walk around and say, hello, friends, Jim Nance here. And it's from a stupid commercial, and I don't know why I have it in my head. I'll be, like, laying in bed at 11:30 at night, and I'll be like, hello, friends, Jim Nance here. And it's just me and Emily.
His recent catchphrase is, that's the truth. Anything that is really for certain, anything that he loves, he goes, that's the truth. If he likes a good lasagna dinner, or he's eating his favorite pizza, he'll lean back and he'll go, that's the truth.
Yeah, I say that's the truth a lot. You know, like if there's a really good basketball player, really good football player, I'll say he's the truth. Or if there's something that I eat that's really good, or something, you know, if we're out somewhere and we see a good movie, I'm like, oh, that was the truth. So the truth is kind of taken over my life now. I say that for pretty much everything.
Me.
Definitely Emily, yeah.
I am a remote hog. It's because
She likes her TV.
I do. I like my reality TV, and you don't put up nearly as much of a fight as you should.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying
No,
you
I
should,
know.
but I do make you watch, you know, Real Housewives and HGTV.
And it wouldn't be that bad if I didn't have to watch Real Housewives of every county in the world ever.
But it's so good. I can't help it. And he is a really good sport about it. Matthew, Matthew,
Emily.
you
No.
are a terrible
No.
driver. You
No.
are. Oh my gosh, he's a terrible driver. He
I'm a
is
Chicago driver.
No, he hogs the road. He speeds. He stops suddenly. When we're driving up to a stoplight,
That ain't true.
when we're driving up to a stoplight, you will just like suddenly stop, like you didn't even know the red
No.
light was there.
No.
Yes.
Wait. Since we've lived here, who's been pulled over?
I've not been pulled over.
Yes.
You haven't been pulled over.
You haven't been pulled over?
No.
Oh, you didn't get pulled over.
I got pulled over once.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was a warning. That doesn't
So,
count.
I can't count.
It does not count.
I haven't been pulled over down
Oh,
here.
please.
Yeah. Me.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Matthew's
Yeah,
the cook.
Emily can make macaroni and cheese in
I'm
the
a-
microwave.
I'm a good microwave cook.
That's-
I am. I can cook
That's about
macaroni and cheese, bacon in the microwave.
Oh, yeah. She
I-
can
I'm-
make an egg
I
every
can make
once in
an
a while.
egg,
Sometimes she breaks the yolk though.
Yeah, I'm not.
A lot of the time
terrible-
she breaks the yolk. But
Not a good egg maker. Oh, I make banana bread too.
She does actually. She does. She makes chocolate chip banana bread out of this world.
Yeah.
I will give her credit
Thank
for that.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I need.
But he, on the other hand, Mr. Gourmet Cook over here, he'll watch the Food Channel and come up with some crazy scheme for some food, tie grapes to some chicken, and at the right temperature it will burst and the juices will just absorb everything. And
It's delicious.
He's a great cook. Chicken Vesuvio.
Chicken Vesuvio, that's my
and
new favorite.
Lasagna. He's got some good dishes. Matthew.
Yeah. I'd come home from work. It's like empty out the pockets, put the wallet, and the keys and coins and papers and the mail, and it's just like throw it on the counter. And then over the course of like a week, it like makes this little like mountain. And Emily's like, "Oh, how come we haven't gotten mail in a week?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, here's your Uncle BJ's birthday card for you. 4
License
months
plate
later.
renewals.
Oh, your license plate was renewed.
I
It
mean-
was supposed to be due like 3 months ago. Here's
Yeah.
the sticker."
I give him a dish to put it in, and he will still not put
Yeah,
it in the dish.
that
It will
doesn't
be
go.
spread everywhere.
Definitely
Matthew,
me. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
funny.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of the life of the party. We all know it.
You are a funny guy. You make me laugh every single day.
I make myself laugh every single day.
I'm kind of funny too.
You are. You're good.
I'm
She makes me laugh.
I'm funny
and
in my
that's what
own
counts.
way, but
Yeah, it's a different kind of comedy. Like, yeah, definitely. You make me
yeah.
laugh.
Me.
Not Emily.
I am
No.
definitely
No,
the better
no,
dancer,
no, no.
Matthew. Yes.
I am no Fred Astaire, but her dance style, it's like
Are you kidding me? Yes.
she has this like
I love it.
weird, like she's a fish or something. She's like
I spin
Like,
records. That's what I
no.
do.
really bad.
I'm a good
Really,
wedding dancer.
really bad.
I like to have fun and I like to move my face when I dance.
Yeah,
But you're a good club dancer. You like to get close to me, and my dad would not approve. Matthew.
definitely.
He's got a great sense of style. Obviously, the pink right now. I mean, he's not afraid to wear it.
Real men wear pink.
He's been starting to dress a little bit more old man. He likes his cardigans now, and since we're living in Florida, I think that has started to influence him a little bit.
Yeah, I've taken on some bad habits since we moved here. I now eat dinner at like 4, and
We watch Jeopardy
we
and
watch
Wheel
Jeopardy,
of Fortune.
and then I go to bed.
Yeah. Me. No.
No.
Matthew.
No.
You would not win on the show of Survivor.
You wouldn't be able to stab anybody in the back.
You-
You'd like fly under somebody's
Me too.
coattail. and-
Whenever anybody meets you at the very beginning, they're not so
Yeah, probably.
crazy about you.
And at the end.
And well, maybe at that. You're strategic and you are, but you would stab people in the back. That's the problem. I wouldn't.
I'd have no
I
problem
would be,
doing what was needed
I
to
would be
bring
strategic
home the money.
and nice, and I definitely think I would win. Yes. You really think that you would win over me?
Yeah. Not
Me.
No. Yeah.
Matthew is, it's not, I mean, I'm a pretty good secret keeper, but Matthew is a terrible secret keeper. He cannot keep
No,
a
I can keep a secret.
He
I
cannot
can't
keep a surprise. It is
So
terrible.
if you're like, hey, we're gonna throw this surprise party for my kid, I've already got them on the phone and told them that there's gonna be like,
Yeah.
you know, a circus and an elephant and giraffes at their birthday party.
He will
so
buy me-
do not tell me.
He will buy me a gift, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna wait till her birthday to tell her what it is,
Yeah,
or
I
to give it to
contemplate
her.
calling her on the phone, but I'm like, I just walked out of the store. It's been like 18 seconds. I can wait till I get home.
Yeah.
So I get home and I'm like, here, I bought you something. And, you know, I'm like, I was going to keep it for, 4 months down the road, but I'll give it to you today. And she's like, oh, thanks, and she goes to open it and I grab it back out of her hand and I open it for her. And like, here it is.
I never have any birthday presents to open on my birthday because he always gives them to me beforehand. He's a terrible secret keeper. We hope you got to know us a little bit better, and we hope you all will join us for our wedding. It's June 16th, 2012. It's going to be on the beach at a state park called Del Norwigens Pass. And then afterwards we're going to have reception at Etudes de Ballet. It's a ballet studio in Naples, Florida. But we'll be serving dinner and also have some crazy good dancing and
Drinks.
And hopefully we will determine who is the better dancer, because we all know it's
We'll
me.
do a dance off.
We all know it's me.
Pants off, dance off.